Alright, in this video I'm going to talk about our gem history, of why we call them gems, or what's the story with that, and that way you have a good understanding of who's Gem 1, Gem 2, Gem 3, Gem 4, Gem 5, and Gem 6, and Gem 7, and why you are starting at a Gem 2 position, and then Gem 4, and like different stuff. So you as well have a good understanding of the timeline of where we're going with your training in the front. So let's go over our history, or our story. Is that around June of 2014, we took over the restaurant around March 2014, actually, we started Matega's. But around June of 2014, Luke started, and that's kind of as far as I'm going with the history right now. Luke started serving out front of the house, and the volume of the restaurant and customers were to a point that he was able to take care of all our customers, phone orders, pickups, dropping food, bussing tables, everything all by himself. And so we were happy with that. And about August, it got to be a little bit busier, and we needed someone else, especially because Luke needed a day off somehow. So as well with that, we hired Sam. He was to cover when Luke was his day off, as well as helping like Fridays and Saturdays and things of that nature. And around around October, we hired another young lady, is because our volume got to a point that it seemed like Luke and Sam were mostly always behind the bar, taking care of people on the register or the bar or pickup and stuff, and no one was taking care of the dining room. So we hired a young lady. Her name was Hannah. She did very well while she worked for us, and she was our first Gem 2. And again, as I said, so her sole focus was the dining room. She was to run food, bus tables, and stay in the dining room, getting to-go boxes, pretty setting table, chatting with the customers. She did well, and our customers loved the connections that she was able to make with them. And around May of 2000, so by this point we had Gem 1 and Gem 2. By May of 2015, we got to a point that we had several Gem 2s, but the way we took care of phone was a little unorganized. So we had like different people answering phone, and be put on hold, it'd be over here, it'd be over there. It wasn't very organized, so there was a need for having a Gem 3, someone whose sole focus and was the phone, and had a station of their own, as if they're sitting here, all the phones are here, and it was way more, was much easier as well for them to call customers to come to pick up their food whenever their food was ready for pickup. So that was the need for a Gem 3. And then by July of this year, we got to a point that we end up having a lot of Gem 2s, and usually about one Gem 3 or so, but it seemed like our Gem 2s are solely running food and bussing tables, and the dining room was not being fully taken care of. So again, because we care so much about the connection for our staff to be able to make with our customer and stuff, so that rose to another need of having someone to be our Gem 4. Gem 4 to serve the dining room, stay in the dining room, pre-setting table, bussing tables if needed, but mostly again getting refills to go boxes, pre-setting tables, those kinds of things. And then that was our Gem 4, and then as time went by, we realized that we need someone to be on that tablet at all times, so we don't miss on any table, desserts, appetizers, or a customer not getting their food for a long time because a paper ticket got lost on the back, or just overall. So we created Gem 5 as the person who's the expediter, who is on the tablet at all times. Gem 6 is the person who, those days that we have BYOP, are to take care of our little customers, and they are unable to do usually anything else a lot of times, so we want them to focus on that. Then usually on Fridays and Saturdays, we tend to be pretty busy in the dining room, so and patio, so we wanted someone to be in the patio like a Gem 4 at all times, and that's our Gem 7. So we, as the need comes up, we try to adjust the best we can. And let's go over here. Our Gem, and where does that come from? Gem means guest experience maker. Matthew and I love acronyms, having an engineering background, and that stands for the guest experience maker. And one of the things that we wanted to do is that we felt like a lot of restaurants, it's not an experience. The staff, especially in the front where you kind of having that contact, are not making any personal connection. They're just dropping off food or just asking, what would you like to drink? And just very quick. They're not taking a moment to chat with you, make a connection, and all of that. And that was one of the main reasons we wanted our front staff to, realize that that's their main duty, is to create an experience for our guests. Sorry. So let's go back to this. This is a gem. I was going to go over the timeline of the position you start. The numbers seem out of order, but if you look at the positions, you will see that they all work together very well. So when you start working at a restaurant, initially you may not have a lot of experience, so we want you to work your way up. And the way to do that is starting with our Gem 2. Gem 2 is a person who runs food, busses tables, places phone on hold, and assist any other gems as needed. So if you're not running food or bussing tables, always be quick to assist someone else. But you need to keep an eye on the dining room. So one of the things you can always do is sweep, wipe stuff down. You know, you can stay as well in the dining room, though you're a Gem 2, be there talking to customers, making a connection. But your main duties are going to be running food and bussing tables. And again, you have some closing tasks and stuff. Then the Gem 4 is the person who serves our customers in the dining room, presets tables. I will explain that in a little bit, but for you to understand. So if you are a Gem 2, when you go and take food to a table, when you arrive with the food, you don't have to grab any plates or anything, or utensils, or Parmesan, or ranch, because the Gem 4 has already preset that table, brought plates. The customer says they want ranch or Parmesan. We already took care of them, and it's all ready for them to eat. So as soon as you bring your food, they don't have to wait for anything else, and they just eat their food, and they will be happy, and we're happy that too. So staying in the dining room, at Gem 4, we do not want to see you in the hallway, in the kitchen, behind the bar, chatting with coworkers, because your sole job is chatting with our customers. So we are going to remind you about that over and over again. So we want you to focus on the customer, staying in the dining room. And two other things that are very critical for this position is getting refills. Customers like having their drinks filled, and getting to-go boxes. If a customer gets up and asks someone behind the bar for a to-go box, that means you failed your position. You did not serve our customers well. The customer is leaving a tip, and we need to justify that. And that's going to be some of the big things. Are going to be these things right here, the Gem 4 serving our customers. So you stay in the dining room, please, and take care of them. So once you master Gem 2, again, keep an eye on what I said, mastering. It's not just about doing something 5 times and thinking that you know everything. It's a bad approach in life. You want to master things, and that's what's going to make you stand out. And a lot of times with mastery is paying attention to details. So once you master Gem 2, you get a Gem 4. Once you master Gem 4, in this phase, while you're doing Gem 2 and Gem 4, just like the first few weeks of you working here, hopefully in the first 2 weeks, ultimately, we want you to learn and master our menu and our theme nights, our hours of operations, just a lot of logistics with the restaurant, because a lot of sometimes customer ask, hey, do you guys have a live band? Hey, do you guys have dinner buffet on Mondays? Customers ask a lot of questions, and you need to be able to give an answer accurately. And as well, you need to know the POS top to bottom, have mastered that as well, so you can communicate with our kitchen staff on that ticket very well. You need to as well call customers for pickup. So that means if food is ready, sitting in the deck oven, you're not answering the phone right now at this moment. You're going to go check in the deck oven or on top of it, see what tickets are there, and you're going to call those customers to come pick their food up. You are going to have a prep. You're going to have your own checklist, but as well, you're expected to do a lot of prep. That means you're going to be doing pizza boxes. So a moment that you're not answering phone or calling a customer for pickup, that's not the time to chat or whatever it is. That's the time for you to make pizza boxes really fast, make ranch, make Parmesan, and all of that. And as well, you can always help any other gems as they ask you, like, hey, so-and-so, can you check the order on this or that or whatever it is. So that's as well always appreciated, you assisting other people. So once you master that, we have our Gem 5. Gem 5 is probably one of the top positions between Gem 1 and Gem 5. Those two things are very, very critical. And here is why. Is because a Gem 5 is a person who's on the tablet at all times, is controlling how long it's taking for a customer to get their food and ensuring the accuracy of that. Those two things are things that matter the most to our customer. The customer wants their food fast, and they want it to be accurate. They don't want a missing breadsticks. They don't want a, missing topping or wrong topping or whatever it is. They hate black olives. They did not want black olives in the Supreme, and we still took that black olives on a Supreme to them. And so that's not going to be very pleasant of an experience for our guests. So Gem 5 is like, in a control room of an airport kind of a thing. You're controlling the food, where it's going, and the accuracy of it, communicating with everybody else in the front, and communicating with folks in the kitchen as well. So let's go over our Gem 6. Gem 6 is usually on Saturdays and Tuesdays, 5:30 to 7:30. We have our BYOP, and that Gem 6 is the person who comes and sets that up, just dedicates their time on our little ones and our families. That's kind of what they're to do, and clean up that station when they're done. Next is our Gem 7. Gem 7 is the same thing as our Gem 4, and ultimately is the person who stays in the patio, is pre-setting tables, getting refills, getting to-go boxes, connecting customers, and all of that. And again, in each of these individual trainings, I'm going to go in deep as to what those things are. Let's go over our Gem 1. So ultimately, someone who's Gem 1 is the person who can, be between like 2 to 5 p.m. by themselves, because you can serve alcohol, you've mastered the POS, you can answer phone, you can solve problems, you can answer customer questions, and all of that is our Gem 1. So what we do not want you to do is be Gem 2 and sometimes get on the register when you don't belong to that position. You need to work your way up. The same as, you want to get a PhD, you need to first get, your high school diploma, you're going to get your bachelor's, you're going to get your master's, and then you can't just get a PhD out of nowhere. Is the same thing. So you need to work your way up. So that's that. That doesn't mean if a customer's standing by the register, you're not going to assist them. If a customer's there by the register and you happen to be around there, you can always ask, "Sir, have you been served?" And they're going to say, "No. I would like to place an order." You say, "Let me get someone right now who can assist you real quick," and go get a coworker who can assist that customer. You have mastered the POS. You are able to serve alcohol, and not only that, you are able to explain what everything is, and sell that item to them as well. And another thing is, we like our staff to be problem solvers. We don't want to, always go to mom and daddy for everything. We want you to think for yourself, understand the heart and the way that we solve problems with our customers. And we want you to learn that. So the person who's in a Gem 1 position is usually in a position that fully understands, or should understand, how we solve problems in this restaurant. And above all else, this team of all our gems, again, it's not in a order that may be fully, sequential, but that's kind of the way it was, and we're keeping it that way right now. And if you have any questions about these gems and how they work, as well, ask questions from any of us, and we'll be happy to assist you as well.